Good evening and welcome to the September 10th Conservation Commission meeting. If anyone else is recording tonight's meeting, please let us know now. As we've done in the remote and hybrid environment in the past, I'll go down the list of Conservation Commission members for opening roll call. Please verbally confirm your attendance. Kelsey Quinlan here, Catherine Walsh
here,
Anil Prasad
Here.
Kalima Mustafa Woodberg
here.
John Corbone.
Here.
All right, so starting out, we have one public hearing tonight, which is the adoption of regulations for the use of conservation lands.
I'm going to bring up that tab.
Carly, did this include the new fee schedule?
So this is just the land use
Okay,
regulation, so it's separate.
gotcha.
That already was approved.
Okay.
I think this came out of, there was a gentleman who requested to be able to hold an event on Concom land.
Oh, yes, yes,
And,
yes.
and we were thinking, you know, we need to have some rules around that and also an approval process. And so, yeah, and so Carly did some digging on this. I think it's terrific. I'm glad we have it.
Yeah. And so after reviewing them, are there any recommendations for edits? Or are you okay as they are?
So I just have one question, like number 14, you provide for approval from the Concom to use Concom land. So do we,
I think,
is there any more to that? Like, is there a form that we require people to fill out for us to be able to approve that? And does it also contemplate that, you know, maybe we give Carly administrative approval to approve those in situations? So
Yep.
so actually we had done some more thinking on this, and we're thinking that perhaps number 14 isn't necessary. Like, for instance, if it's like scouts who are using a trail on Concom land.
but let's think about what he was asking for. He was asking for a wedding.
Yeah.
So does that contemplate, and what happens if it's 100 people?
Right.
So I feel like
Yeah.
that needs to be there.
Okay.
And my other recommendation is, I thought I saw a draft of like a form that you
Yes.
were requesting them to complete, or
Yes.
anybody who wants to use that. And
Yes, we have a very
yeah.
intricate form, which
Yeah.
is in draft right now back in the office.
So could we potentially put a link in here to the form?
Oh.
Well, I do agree that it's somewhat prohibiting more than 10.
Yeah.
But what then, I think we need to lead the horse to water.
Yeah.
Right? What is more than 10 required?
Yeah.
Because by saying, or.
Well, I think we're saying approval by Concom, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the form that Carly developed had a lot of
Exactly.
information that would allow us, or her, to make the decision whether or not it would be appropriate. Like, I think it was like, you know, restaurant or garbage, or, you know, all that type of stuff.
Right.
So do you want to add an additional thing to this, or what do you?
I'm thinking we include maybe we should re-look at the form and include the link.
Like on the website, is that what you're saying, or you mean?
Or even somehow like contact the conservation agent for more
Yeah,
information.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
And then we could pass it.
theoretically this could be on a board. So we want to keep it somewhat static,
Yeah.
right? We wouldn't maybe want to put a link or an email
Right.
should things
Yeah.
change.
Mhm.
But maybe contact conservation agent for form, for application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have to make it easy for them to find either the Concom agent or the form.
Agreed.
So maybe there's a link to the conservation website with the commissioner, not the commissioners,
We
but
can
like,
just do the email, which is conservation.
Yeah, do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
perfect, yeah.
Okay.
how did we come up with the $100 fine?
Where do you see that?
On the bottom.
In the very bottom.
In italics.
Interesting. I am not sure. That was written in.
I mean, if I'm hosting a party for like 50 people and I
Yeah.
break one of those rules,
Yeah.
I mean, so what? I'll pay the $100.
Yeah, especially if you're doing like a wedding or something.
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever, who cares, yeah. But it does say
Gotta
if
make
not,
it.
if not more.
Yeah, if not more than $100.
Well, and again, I think, and this is my opinion, but I'm not sure Harley would approve at a wedding. I don't know, what do you envision your maximum allotment to be? Because I do think some of these spaces really don't lend themselves to large
Agreed.
groups, and they're sensitive environmental, sites.
I think it depends on the parcel.
Okay.
And it
Yeah.
depends on the event.
Well, I think the point though is that people would, if the fine isn't that much, they would just do it without going through the approval process.
Yeah.
I guess if we're putting capacity minimum or maximum, and someone has a question on a property, to say, hey, I want to host an event, let's say at the Francis, well, not the Elvisio's Park next to me where I
Yeah.
live. The question becomes, what's the capacity for that place,
Mm-hmm.
right? How do we determine that?
We should probably establish that.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be kind of tricky, because maybe it depends on, I think it's not so many what the people are, it's what are they doing? Like, are they having food? Are they having
Mhm.
fire? Are they having catering? Because if they're having that, then they need restrooms, or they need, trash receptacles. So I feel like it should be an application, that it's like a one-off
Yeah.
evaluation.
And then you use your
Judgment, right?
judgment to figure out, yeah.
And those were the only two inquiries we've ever received, well, since I've been on the Conservation Commission.
Yeah.
And, bless Mark's heart, he actually asked for approval. My guess is maybe some people do it without approval.
Yeah.
So, at least we have some guidance, so that is available on the Concom website that talks about, reaching out and getting approval. So I'm afraid if we spend all this time to be so prescriptive,
Yeah.
it's just gonna, it might be
We're
like
dealing
a
with the
little
exception.
overkill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a question on the fine. Is it per violation? Or if they break all 14 points, they're only gonna hit?
Right,
No,
exactly.
yeah, it's like if they cut down a tree and
How
do all
about
this-
if we edit that final sentence to say violation of any, of what, per?
I would say per, just thinking out loud,
Yeah.
per
Who
violation.
assesses the fine?
So,
We could just remove that.
yeah. I think if we're gonna do things like fines, we might need to involve town council to some
Mm,
capacity.
yeah.
Yeah.
So shall we remove that last line?
Yeah,
Maybe
you
a
I
could.
think
start
for
with-
now, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Because-
we could do some recon or something if
Yeah.
there's violations or it gets
Yeah.
crazy.
There has to be some hindrance to not break it, but
Yeah.
what is that
Well, so,
best? Yeah.
so
It could-
in the conservation land use application, it specifies that if a person or a group, breaks things or leaves garbage behind, they're responsible for, like, financially responsible for the repair and cleanup of the site.
Mhm.
So you have enforcement order ability to get money, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had one other question as far as, say it's a Girl Scout troop, and they're gonna have, meetings for the next year, my daughter's in Girl Scouts, for instance. Is it a blanket authority, or would you look, say they're gonna do seven days with Girl Scouts at a conservation point? Do they have to ask 7 times, or could it be like, for this year, this Girl Scout troop has permission to?
I imagine it'd be like a blanket.
Yeah.
When- As
Okay.
long as they
I
give
just-
us the dates
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
times,
All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see the application right now? But that's actually a different matter, right? This is the regulations, and
Right.
the other one
Yeah.
is the application.
Yeah, maybe at the next meeting, we could just go over it. Because we reviewed it earlier and it was
Yeah.
pretty comprehensive.
Yes. So why don't we not say it next meeting, but let's wait till I hear back from the manager's office, because they're
Okay.
reviewing it.
There, okay,
So
perfect.
when I hear from them, then we
Great.
can review it.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion to accept the regulations
As revised.
as revised.
Today.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Okay, I'll go down the list. Please state your position. Kelsey Quinlan, aye. Catherine Walsh,
Aye.
Anil Prasad,
Aye.
Kalina Mustafa Woodberg,
Aye.
John Carbone.
Aye.
Alrighty. Moving on to Conservation Commission business, we have with us Par Corp. Proposal for assessment of and recommendation for interim fix for the Guile Pond spillway. And I know we have a couple folks online with us tonight. Hi Heather.
Hi, everyone. Dave Keller with Park Corporation.
Hey Dave. Okay, do either one of you want to share your screen or walk us through where we're at with this?
Yes, let me. I have not used Google Meet before, so trying to, oh, here it is. Okay, perfect. You see that?
We can.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we sent a revised proposal in today to Carly with request to change it to just limit the inspection to be at the spillway, assess if short-term recommendations, short-term measures will work at the spillway, and then we added a second task in here for potential conceptual drawings if a short-term assessment will work. So we have two tasks in this proposal. The first task is the spillway inspection and report. So first, we typically do a file review, just obtaining any documents, information from the Office of Dam Safety or from yourself. And then we would do a field inspection. It would be done by a registered professional engineer. And it would just be limited to looking at the condition of the spillway. And the inspection is visual in nature, and we're not going to be looking at the embankment, the slope, or any of the abutments or other outlet structures that are at the dam. And then with the inspection will be a summary report, which will summarize the findings. It'll assess if short-term solutions could be undertaken at the dam, the timeline for the repairs, and then information of the risks of potentially leaving the spillway as is while long-term repairs are designed. And then we have this additional task 200, conceptual drawings. So if we go out there and find that short-term repairs are feasible, we'll develop sketches and notes depicting the general scope of the short-term solution, using base mapping topography from LiDAR, and just limited information from the data we get from the field inspection. So the previous fee for this was $5,000, but with these two tasks now, we increased it by $2,500 to $7,500 for these two tasks. And the separated fee for the two tasks, task 1 is $2,500, task 2, $5,000.
Okay,
That's the general idea. Dave, do you have any other things to add about the proposal?
thank you, Heather. Dave, do you have anything you'd like to add before we turn it over to commissioners?
No, not really. I mean, I open it up to the commission if they have any questions for us about any of the specifics here.
Okay. Commissioners, does anyone have any comments or questions?
How do you feel about this, Carly?
So this is an edited version from the first proposal. The first proposal included taking a look at long-term fixes, and it didn't include any sketches. So my thought was, what we're really looking for is what we can do at this site over the next year, year and a half or so. And so really short-term is what we were interested in. So I expressed that, and so that's why they tweaked it, and now they're including the sketch and the focus on short-term. does what they're, I guess, I would like to know if what they're presenting is sufficient for the Concom. I know we want to sort of get this going as soon as we can and get a short-term fix implemented. So they wouldn't do the work, we would have to get someone else to
Yeah.
do the work.
I'm curious from the team, in similar assessments that you've done or comparable assessments, what types of like short-term recommendations have come out of it?
We have a similar project that was completed as an emergency repair of a spillway that used bulk bags on the upstream side, clutched by riprap. So we've seen that work as a temporary repair for the spillway.
Yeah, we've responded to several events, and I think really what we're gonna be looking for out here at the spillway is kind of what the substrate of the channel is, and whether it's more suited for a bulk bag solution, buttressed by riprap, or kind of a concrete block solution. Both of these, we've installed a concrete block solution at a location that was really only supposed to be in for a year or two, and the owners had difficulty moving the rest of the project forward. And I think we're going on 4 years now, and we have a very similar solution with bulk bags that's been in place for about a year now. We've been monitoring it for that owner, and it's been performing well. So
Gotcha.
I think those are kind of the short-term solutions that are
And these solutions
immediately
have,
come to mind.
sorry, and these solutions have lasted more than a year?
Correct.
Gotcha.
What type of bags were you describing? I just couldn't hear you.
Bulk bags, they're basically very large sandbags. Contractors use them a lot when they're doing cofferdams. They're generally like 3 foot wide, 3 foot wide by 3 foot long by 2.5 to 3 feet high, and you can stack them up on top of each other. And the fabric that the bag is made out of is a little bit more robust than a general 26-inch sandbag.
Okay, so that would perhaps lend itself to a longer lifespan than those current solution that we have out there.
Correct.
I also like that we're doing the risk of not doing anything, because I think that's gonna legitimize any expense that we propose to undertake. Because my guess is the risk of leaving it as is isn't going to be good.
And I think I heard you say you did this for some other town or some other location, so I'm assuming that if you give us a recommendation and we go with option X, you could implement that option? Or would we have to contract this out to a different company to do it?
So we're engineering consulting firm, so you would have to get a contractor to.
Got you.
Maybe DPW
Okay.
could potentially do it if it's not too complicated.
Got you. Got you. Okay, that's helpful.
One question, I want to make sure you will be including price estimates for the different options that you outlined.
Do we have that in there, Heather?
I'm gonna say it explicitly.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can
Order of
use,
magnitude.
pricing that we've gotten from, you know, if the DPW doesn't work, it's gonna be a vastly different cost than if a contractor does it. As I said, one of these systems, we have pricing for each of these systems that contractors have installed in the past, so we can kind of provide that as a reference and, I guess, modify it for inflation.
Thank you, that would be great.
Well, thank you, Carly, for
Yeah.
getting this going. I know it's been an endeavor. Does anybody else have any comments? All right, and so you, tonight, what we're looking for is us to give you permission to authorize this contract? Okay.
Do we have to vote on that?
Yeah.
right, I make a recommendation that we move forward on the PAR Corporation revised proposal.
Oh, second.
Okay. Kelsey Quinlan, aye. Catherine Walsh.
Aye.
Neil Prasad.
Aye.
Kalima Mustafa Woodberg. Aye. And John Carbone.
Aye.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for being
Appreciate
here.
it.
Heather. Thanks, David.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Looking forward to hearing what the recommendations are.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks.
Alrighty, number 3, we have prospective conservation projects for CPC 2025-2026 grant application cycle. Carly, do you wanna start us off on this one?
Sure. So, the CPC grant application cycle is coming around again. Pre-applications are due October 1st, and full applications are due November 14th. Generally, the Conservation Commission submits a request for a funds transfer into the Conservation Land Fund. So I wanted to know if the Conservation Commission would like to do that again this year and for what amount of funding.
So I'll just, a little context to that. We have been requesting 10,000 for as long as I've been on CPC and Concom. And so at the most recent town meeting, when they were voting on the $10,000 transfer, there was a number of comments by the town meeting members who were like, $10,000, like that's, you know, kind of low. And so I feel like they opened the door for us to increase that amount. So, you know, we've had some initial conversations about, is it 25, is it 50?
Yeah.
You know, so a little bit it's trying to find like the town meeting member sweet spot. John, you're a town meeting member, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
I thought the same. I wasn't on this commission at the time, obviously, but
Yeah.
I thought only 10,000.
yeah.
As a meeting member.
So do you have a sense of like what town meeting might approve, or, I didn't get a chance to talk to Alan, because I was gonna try and do that, but I didn't connect with him.
I think, depends on how it's explained. To me, at least 25,000. I think as we go forward, we're gonna have more competition for land,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as far as being developed or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that if land is purchased, for instance, it benefits everyone in the town. It doesn't
Yeah.
just benefit a certain population or
Yeah.
homeowners or renters, that everyone can use it, even the
Yeah.
surrounding areas. I think people are realizing that.
So maybe we do go with 25, you know, we'll let it go for a few years and then maybe we bump it
Yeah.
up to 50. I don't
What
know.
is our current conservation land fund bank? Because I feel like that's part of this discussion.
Yeah.
Do we have like 30,000 in there, or, you know, because
I would have to look, I don't know
Yeah,
offhand.
I suggest that being part of the application, because I think that would help explain why more money is being requested.
Yeah, my guess is it's probably a relatively small amount of money, yeah. It wouldn't allow us to make a purchase, but it allow us to do like the pre-work that we've been doing.
Or like an
Deed
easement,
stuff,
or,
exactly.
exactly. So that might help explain, one, why we're
Yeah.
increasing the amount, and two, how many years away we are from being able to purchase a property in town.
Yeah.
I have a controversial question. Do we sell land?
I don't,
No,
since I've been
because
on
I believe it's
Concom,
in
we-
perpetuity if it's an open space.
Yeah. Yes, I don't believe that we sell land.
Just curious.
Yeah, we've never sold since I've been on Concom, yeah.
I don't know if it's,
Are they deed
I
restricted,
believe,
or?
it
as
depends
far-
on if you go, if it's in the open space program, it is,
Mhm.
the literal term is in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's no ifs, ands, or buts regarding that.
Mm.
I don't know how conservation land is treated, if that's part of the, like, official open space program throughout the state, but. Okay, so, Kalima, not to pick on you, what do you think
Okay.
about the amount?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know, but I was kind of looking through some of what you sent out. I was looking through that link, and a lot of the funds were much higher than the 10,000 that Norwood had requested. So I definitely think that we should request more. I would be fine with going for the 25. And interested to hear what our balance is at the moment.
And interested to hear feedback from town meeting. Do they like 25, or did it squeak by this year and some were uncomfortable? Did they say, wait, you're still asking too little, right? Kind of get a pulse at this upcoming meeting.
Yeah.
Is the request for funds purely to buy land
Well, you
in
can,
the application?
you can buy land, or you can, do deed research.
Yeah,
Just funds to
anything's
use.
around the procurement of land, so it's all the upfront stuff if you need
Gotcha,
to
gotcha.
do, yeah.
I did have a question, because it said that Concom was asked to avoid listing specific projects.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's different.
Yeah,
for
that's
the
in our,
goals.
that's in our goals or
Oh,
our
okay,
CPC
okay, that makes
plan.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
asked for two things.
Yep,
One is we want to consider if we want to apply for
Yeah.
funds.
yeah,
The other one is, as a commission, to provide conservation goals
Oh,
for
okay.
the next few years, that we would like them to consider when they're considering applications.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Can we provide a range, or do we have to provide a number? Could we say 35 to 50K and leave it up to the town to
You know, that's interesting, guys, because historically, we have not done a range. It's been like an exact amount, and it's really based on a cost estimate of what the project is. Maybe, well, maybe in the pre-application, we give a range. And so as part of the pre-application phase, we're talking with FinCom before we make recommendations. So maybe we say 25 to 50.
Yeah.
And have it be contingent on review with FinCom.
Yeah.
So maybe let's do that for now.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Because I don't
and
want
then-
to, I mean, if
We
we put
might
25 and
say-
they give us 25, but they have the ability to give us 50, I'd rather.
And
take-
they
Yes,
want.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it's really FinCom that's, like, we're making the recommendation, but they're giving it a thumbs up.
Got you, got you.
I do believe, so being part of, not to jump ahead an agenda
Yeah.
item, but being part of the comprehensive plan steering committee, that is one of the biggest feedback that I've received. And we've had a number of events in which we've connected with residents, and open space, keeping as many trees in Norwood, it is one of
Yeah.
the hotter issues, I would say. And this might be the time to strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. Because there's really only so many parcels of undeveloped land remaining in Norwood, and the longer we wait, the less opportunity we'll have for what to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And for, a common person, it's pretty transparent what we're doing. There's no smoke and mirrors or anything like that.
There's nothing,
And
right?
Yeah.
just talking to people the past couple weeks, I mean, the appetite's huge, like you're saying, like, they're like, we're spending money on this and that, like, of course we would do open space.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the 25 is, like, modest
Yeah,
as far as people's appetite. And we all live in town, like, if
yeah.
I was sitting in a town meeting and it was 50,000 last year, I would be like, yeah. Like,
I know, we could have 10 years worth of
Yeah.
money in 2 years, right? If we did
Yeah.
50
yeah.
for the next two.
So we have CPC next Wednesday, and then we're back here on the 24th. So let me get with the CPC folks too, and Alan will be there, so I can do a little due diligence, which I said I was gonna do and I didn't do. Did you get that?
In last town meeting, if you remember, sometimes I guess the red tape, for lack of a better word, goes past me, but town meeting members can like make motions on the motion.
To change the amount. You're
Yeah.
right, you're right.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yes.
if someone felt.
They
so
can
inclined-
reduce it,
We
but
should
not increase
definitely,
it.
Oh, they can't increase it, but
They
they
can-
can reduce it.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
should aim
Ah.
high then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I believe
I was
someone-
gonna say, if you could
Yeah.
increase it there.
If you-
Right,
Is that-
right.
is that
Another-
legal?
If you went for the 50
Yeah,
and say there was a consensus that was too high, someone could say, well, how about 30?
yeah.
Now, it would have to be organic, but
Right.
that's possible.
No, if someone feels, if the
Yeah.
majority feels that way, it's truly whatever town meeting favors, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
50,
50.
done.
Okay, here we go.
So what about the pre-app?
Well, we'll know before, because the pre-app's due the 1st. So maybe if you just prepare the pre-app and we'll just leave the number, until
Okay.
until we get back on the 24th.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We don't need to vote on that?
No, it's an application, right?
Yeah.
We can always vote on it next week if we have, or 2 weeks if we have a solid number, if you want to do that.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
There's another potential idea, which was reinvigoration of park signage on conservation land. Some of the signs are pretty faded and worn. And then we're gonna have our official regulations for use of conservation land, so we could always put up some of those or other signage that we think of.
We're the only ones here.
Do we have a sense of how much that would be?
No, I have not. looked into that
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
That is something that I saw a few times mentioned in the database, so we can definitely refer to that.
Yeah, and I think the Trails Committee did some cost estimating for some signs, so Joe Greeley might have a sense.
Where did we land with all of those signs that we were reviewing?
Oh, those three, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so that
and
was
Dean.
Endine and
Yeah.
Community Garden.
Remember, we had
Yes, there
talked
were
about that
three.
thing, and then the
Yes.
three
Okay.
below, yeah.
And
Yes,
in
I
that,
s-
I was just there, but was that sign there?
Nope, I have not
Okay.
Yeah.
followed up on that and ordered them yet.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Um,
Well, then that could help with the cost estimate, right? You could,
Oh, yeah.
if you see how much it costs for that property, we just need to multiply it by whatever remaining.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different type of signage, but those ones were just small.
The wood ones.
Yeah, but the ending sign that's very faded on Washington Street is one of the larger. But we, a few years ago, made a very similar sign for Peswick Park, so
Mhm.
I can look at that.
Okay.
So is that of interest as another potential project?
I think
for
so.
CPC?
It would be good to have consistent signage at all of our places and cite the regs or whatever, yes. I'm supportive of it.
I am as well.
Okay.
Okay, nobody else has any other comments on this? Okay, moving on to number 4, comprehensive plan report. So I tabled on Saturday at Norwood Day, and we're at this stage where we're again soliciting feedback from residents. This time we're taking initial wants and trying to translate that into, more specific themes. And then the next phase of that is kind of how those themes can be accomplished. So we're in another reprioritization stage where we're trying to get as much feedback from residents to see, now that we know, big concepts like, well, how, in what priority do you want to see them accomplished? And so on the town website, there is a survey to help, give your feedback. So we're encouraging everybody to participate. And then I believe we're meeting at the end of the month. I think September 27th.
Wow.
So just to interrupt 1 second.
Sure.
Did we skip bullet 2? The conservation.
We
goal?
might
I think we did. I
I
think that's why I was
apologize.
confused.
I thought they saved, I don't know if it was saving it for
Yeah,
the
'cause
end
I
or.
was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Go back to number 2.
It needs
We
assessment.
absolutely can. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I crossed it out. Let me find it here.
It's hard because they're linked.
So it's the CPC committee needs assessment, so.
Right, all right, back up to 2, conservation goals for CPC needs assessment report. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna pull up the list.
And so maybe just, well, Carly's doing that, just a little history. So CPC is trying to update their needs assessment report. And so, as you guys might remember, that there's 4 categories, it's really 3. So it's historic, housing, and then open space / recreation. And so we haven't updated the plan in a while. And so what we're trying to do is put maybe like some guardrails about what are the types of projects that would be approved under each of those 3 categories. And so we definitely do not want it to be project specific, but more like in support of acquiring land, in support of redoing
Okay.
parks,
Yeah. Okay.
enhancing outdoor activities, providing educational resources to open space. And then, with regard to historic buildings, it's saying, we want to work on the facades of certain buildings or, whatever the historic stuff is. And then the housing is you know, we have a tough time with housing because it's like we can only do work on the outsides of buildings, but, you know, there were people that were sort of challenging, like, could we do some open space stuff at a housing development? And so we're trying to explore some of that stuff. So, so we don't want it to be so specific that it's very limiting, and so we want
Yeah.
it to be broad to provide some guidance about what the town wants to fund, and maybe more importantly, like what we're not interested in funding. And that's, so the first threshold is, can you use CPC funds for that project? And then the second is, does it align with the goals that the CPC has articulated? So we want it to be particularly broad, so we can attract as many projects as we can.
So this
So-
was a memo that I drafted as sort of like a starting point. And I based it on comments that I'd received from several commissioners last year
Yeah.
at this time, and then also from the Norwood Comprehensive Plan draft goals list, and then a few others that came to mind. So I wonder if you all have feedback on this, if you'd like to tweak it in any way. Just thought we'd have a discussion about this.
I think he did a great job.
I do too.
It's-
I think it's really good. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of options there, which is exactly what we want. But it helps focus people who are submitting applications too. So Carly, if we're okay with this, you're gonna transmit that to, is Joe Greeley doing the open space in the rec, or are you gonna share that with Kristen?
I figured, I wrote it to Kristen.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to add anything that comes to mind, or remove?
Yeah, I reviewed it and thought it looked good. If people want more time to look at it, maybe till the,
It's due though on, I think it's the 15th, is it? Let's see.
think
Where is it? Yeah, on the 15th.
Yeah, I mean, even just looking at it now, that looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
Same, I don't have anything to add.
Anil, you good?
No, good.
All right,
so it's good to go?
wonderful.
Good,
Okay.
thank you, Carly.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
really
you,
good.
guys.
It's comprehensive.
Okay, sorry, now you can keep going.
Okay, now you can go
I interrupted you
to.
before.
Oh, you got me
You're
back
rolling.
on track.
Well, you know, it's funny, I noticed it and I was like, did we decide that we were gonna reorder this? I was like, did I?
I have this bad habit too where I just cross things off.
I know.
On to the
I
next
love
meeting.
it, I love
I
it.
can't even go back. Okay, but this pairs nicely. Now we're on to CPC report.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, nothing more than, we are working on the needs assessment report. We've been focusing on that. Also, we're getting set to do some outreach. Deb Holman has been really great about trying to solicit feedback on this needs assessment, and so us not doing it in a vacuum. And so we have some, you know, I don't have the dates, but I will send it to Carly so she can send it out. So we are holding a session at the library, at the senior center, and at the rec center. Rec center? Yes. And we're going to target them. So the one at the rec center is going to be the rec. One at the senior center, I think it's going to be historical, and then housing at the library. But we are also going to solicit comments for other types of projects. So the goal is to have people from the town that are experts in that area. So Sam White from REC will be at that one. We've got housing people, and then we have, who's the new guy? Sean, I can't think of his last name, who's the housing guy. I'm sorry, and then the historic Judith and Tony Esco will be there. But so what we're gonna do is do a brief overview of like what CPC is, what are eligibility requirements, how does the process work, and then Deb has a bunch of questions that she's gonna like throw out, and I think they're talking about publicizing those in advance so that people can be prepared to discuss it. So she just really wants to solicit input, and you know, because we've taken a lot of look at the comprehensive plan, but I think she wants to hear it from people. So so those will happen all in September. I think the first one's September 17th. So let me get those dates and I'll forward those to you, Carly.
Great, okay.
Okay. And so then the next big date is, you know, October 1st, where we receive the pre-applications. Okay,
Great, thank you, Kathy.
yep, thanks.
Okay, number 6, we have meeting minutes to approve from July 9th and August 13th.
Okay,
Did everyone have a chance to review them?
I did.
Yep.
Yep.
Was I
I'll
here?
move-
Let's see.
Do we do one at a time, Carly?
Yes.
Or- Okay.
Does,
Okay.
Yes, I was here.
Does John vote on, if you would? I don't remember when you started, John, but.
So the 8/20 was my first meeting
Okay.
as an
Should he vote then?
approved commission.
Probably
No.
not.
No, because I wouldn't
Okay.
have any,
So-
the
Right,
7.
unless you watched the
watched
video.
it.
The
Yeah.
8/13, I was there as a participant. 7/9, though,
Oh,
I
so
don't have any recollection.
I think
You
you
can
can
vote.
vote on 8/13.
Okay.
I feel like I remember that when I started.
That one was
Because I
virtual.
watched
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I was there,
Okay.
virtually.
7/9 I was present, 8/13 I was not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, a motion for 7-9, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, Kelsey Quinlan, aye. Catherine Walsh.
Aye.
Anil Prasad.
Aye.
Kalima Mustafa Woodberg.
Aye.
John Carbone. You
Just
say
abstain.
Abstain, okay. Then for 8-13,
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second?
okay. Kelsey Quinlan, aye. Catherine Walsh.
Aye.
Anil Prasad.
Abstain.
Kalima Mustafa Woodberg.
Aye.
And John Carbone.
Aye.
Okay. And last but not least, agent update.
Okay, we had.
You know what, just quickly, August 13th, John's name isn't on as present. You might want to add him to that.
Well, he
Oh,
was,
no, he was
he was
reserved.
like in the audience.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right, okay, got it. Sorry. Sorry, John.
Oh, no problem.
So for agent update, we tabled it Norwood Day. We got to answer questions and connect with people. Is there any, Kalima said that she might be willing to create an interactive
Yeah.
activity
Um,
for future
for
Norwood
that,
Day.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
And do you want to, you have expertise in this area and experience.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
wanna
so,
just share?
essentially the conversation we have, because I do a lot of like public education in nature and wildlife and things like that, that I have a lot of tabling materials. I don't have anything that is specific for freshwater, so I was saying this could be a nice opportunity to like adapt certain activities that I might have otherwise to, teach people about wetlands, and we were talking about maybe a stormwater activity, teach people about that. So yeah, I still have to think about it, but I'll
You have
come
a
up
year.
with a couple of yeah.
Oh, no, till Earth Day.
Earth Day though,
Earth Day.
yeah. But yeah, I'll come up with a few things and run it by you all.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Question for you. Do we have a life-sized map of Norwood that overlays what lands Conservation Committee owns?
I would love to.
Oh, that would be
to see
good.
that.
I suspect we somewhat own it through an open space map. but
Yeah,
It's
That'd
not-
be interesting to show on that day, right? Like,
for sure.
right?
I
Like-
agree, Anil.
Yeah.
I mean, we do often have the trails crew next to us,
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
kind of get to
Yeah.
do the fun part.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
But, because they had a beautiful map of the new park in South Norwood.
Okay.
But they do have those trail maps, so maybe if we adopted the same format, it would sort of jive with that. So the trails maps, and then we have a conservation land map,
Yeah.
which the trails stuff intersects with. So maybe we could
Yeah.
partner with the Trails Committee to do something.
Because people may live next to a conservation land and not realize
Yeah.
it.
Like
Yeah.
Cow Pond, a lot of people are like, where is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it's on Nick, like, where? Like, it's
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
Well, you have a whole year to get a life-size map.
All right.
Right.
So I included in here violation updates. The bank of Hasbrook near Maki and Maki, it looks great. They put up the erosion controls.
good.
They're gonna come back to us, I think, in 2 conservation committee meetings to discuss their plant restoration plan. But the erosion controls held up even through the rainstorm this past weekend, so that was great. Haspool construction site, they hadn't gotten back to me after my note, but I went down today and they've got they fixed their erosion controls like I asked, so that was fantastic. They looked like in good condition. I am in communication with Coakley, the construction site there. They had some turbid stormwater leave the site during the big rainstorm this past weekend, so I've asked them to fix some of their erosion control materials. And they've done some, and I asked them for a bit more after I visited today. The 61 Endicott Street project that we finished with went to planning, and we've been reviewing their planting plan just like Conservation Commission had asked. So that's going well. They have a more diverse species now in more places, so looks great. What else can I tell you? NEPRA and our Community Development Department have been working together to help affirm with a volunteer workday at Cooper Park. So that's in the works. Some of our Trails Committee members.
Question for you
Yeah.
on Cooper Park. Once that date is determined, how will it get publicized?
That is just for their firm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had asked Trails Committee to weed whack around the picnic table that's at Peswick Park because the vegetation had grown up so you couldn't see the picnic table anymore. So they did that, so we're grateful for their work there. As you know, the Guile Pond, well, this is a little different, right? We just spoke with PAR about the interim fix for the spillway. So I've been working on an RFP for the feasibility study for Guile Pond. We may instead tweak it a little bit, so we're doing it through the state contracting process. It will just streamline things, but I'm in the midst of drafting that. I've been working on that. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I'll be going down to the Westover Parkway Bridge site. They redid the bridge. It's near the Willett School.
I walked past that the other night.
All right.
Had to change my route.
I'll be visiting there on Friday. And finally, on Sunday, October 12th at 11 a.m., the high school group that developed the greenhouse is planning a ribbon cutting. It's still in the works. And I think that's about it for what I have to report.
Look at this, Acton set aside $775,000 for their open space set aside.
Wow.
That's what I mean.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Cause I'm
Yeah.
just like, I
Ken
don't think I
has
saw
some-
They must
any that
collect
was
a
on
lot of
there.
money.
Yeah.
They're serious. Some towns are
Yeah,
serious
serious.
about open space.
Yeah.
And Norwood can be one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, thanks, Carly.
Yeah.
Okay, then, one last motion.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Awesome. Kelsey Conlon, aye. Catherine Walsh.
Aye.
Neil Prasad.
Aye.
Kalima Mustafa Woodburg.
Aye.
John Carbone.
Aye.
Great.